What was the first porn you saw?
Oh boy.
Do you remember what was the first thing that would made you go like, oh my god?
I remember. So sorry, Mom, for telling this story.
Does your mom listen to the podcast?
Yeah, she'll definitely
that's
listen to this.
cute.
Oh yeah, she listens to this stuff. Yeah,
Hi.
she's a fan. My sisters are a big fan of you as well. Like, yeah. They still love the fact that you told them that they were like the Kardashians.
Oh my god!
They
yes,
like that a lot.
I remember that. They're so like them. Are you at Coachella this weekend?
My sisters. The first porn I saw, man, I would say, does print count?
Yeah.
Okay. Then my mom had a subscription to Adam and Eve, which I don't know if that's still a thing, but it was like a catalog.
Oh, yeah.
They would send out monthly and it would
Do
have
you not
sex
listen
toys
to
and stuff in
podcasts?
it.
Because
Not really.
AdamandEve.com is like the advertiser on every podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I don't really listen to podcasts at all, actually. I listen to wrestling podcasts.
Okay.
So.
Well, AdamandEve.com is like the commercial for every podcast.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I remember I found that so I was about 12. I just started whacking off and, just desperately trying to just see images of boobs any way I could.
Yes.
And I remember my parents were out of town at one point, or my mom and my stepdad were, and I was checking the mail for them. And they got this catalog, and I was like, oh my God, they're gone for days. I can just take my time and look at this and do what have you with it. And
awesome.
I remember flipping through, and like the number, like, I didn't talk to like guy friends about jerking off. 'Cause I was like 12.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know what the terms were. I was afraid to Google anything because I thought my parents understood computers and could see what I was looking at. So I just didn't know anything. And one of the lines was like, orgy line, call 1-888-whatever-69 orgy. I was like, orgy. That must be the thing that's happening when it feels really good when I'm whacking off at the end.
Yeah.
That's why I thought
close.
orgasm. It was several letters. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really close.
Yep. But the first porn that I could actually access regularly was my friend Ryan had a Hustler, and I would go over to his place, and I was so afraid of getting caught with porn, but I wanted to see it so bad, so I was trying to find a good way to do this, because I couldn't have it in the house. So I had a Game Boy camera, which was a piece of shit technology.
I remember the Game Boy
camera. It had that little like eyeball thing on top and super pixelated like beige and black
and
images.
White, awful.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, that is one safe thing. Like Ryan would let me tear out a page if I wanted to and keep it in my closet or fold it up and hide it somewhere. But there's always the risk that I'm at school and my mom finds it or whatever.
Oh my God.
But she'd have no idea how to go into the photos on my Game Boy camera. So I archived as many photos of boobs as I could on the Game Boy camera.
That's hilarious.
And so I'm just sitting there with my green Game Boy Pocket and the Game Boy Color whacking off to these pixelated things at 12.
That's so funny.
It's so stupid.
I love that story. That's the shittiest. Those are the shittiest images ever.
Yeah, it's appropriate given my career path and everything that I'm
so
whacking off to a Game Boy.
Oh my God. You were so scared to just even find a little picture that you couldn't.
I remember I did take out a page one time and I folded it up and I hid it in the liner notes of my cassette tape of Aerosmith's Get a Grip cassette. And I had it there for a day, and I remember just being at school and being like, oh my God, she's probably looking at it right now. And I went home, and I think I took it, and I tore it up and burnt it. I might have buried it or something. I was so fucking nervous. I might have thrown it in a dumpster behind Target or something.
What's it like to live in your brain?
Oh, it's something.
God, that must have been hell.